Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Scarowinds the movie. Please sit back, keep your hands, feet, and chainsaws inside the ride at all times, and enjoy your movie.
Describe Scarowinds in one word.
Different.
Evil.
Terrific, fantastic.
Awesome.
Scary fun.
Fantastic.
Eclectic. Unpredictable.
Amazing.
Phenomenal.
Crazy.
Amusing.
Exciting.
Creepy.
Freeing.
Best.
All you fear is here.
Scarowinds is a place where you can come and you can enjoy all the roller coasters you get to during regular Carowinds, but then it also gets transformed into a creepy place where you can, well, I mean, Scarowinds is all your fears here.
Oh, basically the funnest place on earth. I mean, it's scary and frightful at the same time, but you get to have fun, so.
Good evening. Good to see you here tonight.
It's a great event. It's put on by great people. The actors that are here are all awesome from every level.
Tell me about the kind of people that work here.
It seems like every year at orientation, Steve always, or Thurman always cracks some joke that you have to be kind of messed up in the head to work here. I can't really disagree.
Boogers. Boogers. No boogers. Boogers.
What?
66 boogers.
There's some pretty interesting characters here. Like, people who work at Scarowinds are like a breed all their own.
Well, nice. Hey, wait. I think I'll touch this one. They look real.
It's also tender. I think the thing that most impresses me about Scarowinds is the fact that you've got people, all genders, all sexual preferences, all religions, people with metal through their faces, fat people, thin people. It's just, and we all get along. And I don't understand why the world can't be the same way and stop this bullying crap. But this is absolutely the most. Every character would say every once in a while we have a drama here, but for the most part we all get along for the season, and you know, we stay friends for life most of the time.
Ah, yes, you enjoy. Guess what?
What?
I'm gonna eat you.
We have quite the range of people from normal to not so normal.
I am not the hero. A Scarewind needs. I'm the hero. It serves. I have vengeance. I am the knight. I am Batman.
Black man, technically.
Die! I ruined it.
Everyone that works here is really nice, and I've made so many new friends here at Scarowinds, and they're also really creepy when they get into character.
What?
So it's quite diverse, but for the most part, everybody still respects everybody, and that's the best thing to see when you come somewhere like this, is the diversity and the fact that everyone's respecting it.
Been waiting for this for so long.
Began with Scare School.
So first and foremost, welcome back. We love all of you.
Woo!
It's when Amy and
Shane teaches different kinds of scares, not just being like boo or rah, which is something we can't say.
Get Out. Can't say that either.
We have to be creative, and they get us involved in Scare School, so we figure out what we're comfortable with and if it's okay and if it's approved, and what we are able to work on if they like it and we're just not comfortable. Like for new hires, they feel really anxious and nervous to be weird, I guess, and creep people out, but that's what Scare School is for, so they can understand that we're all just a bunch of crazy people, and it's okay to be weird, because that's what we're paid to do, is to be weird and scare people.
name's Monica. I have been here for 10 years in Scarowinds, and I am one of the senior area operational managers.
Monica. Monica's the Overlord's Overlord. She's the head honcho here for us monsters for the most part, and she takes care of us, but keeps us in line.
Actually, I started in Boo Blast, which was the daytime event, and I helped out when they were short a manager, and from that point just jumped right into Scarowinds and just kept going. I've done everything from costuming to makeup to help with design to what I do now.
I'm Kelly. I'm a senior area operational manager, and this is my 6th year of Scarowinds.
Kelly is one of the head people. Like, you can go to her with any problems that you have, and she's really open to listening to whatever you have to say about anything.
Interestingly enough, I used to be absolutely terrified of Scarowinds. I wouldn't even walk through the park. Like, I used all the back areas to get from point A to point B. So when I was asked to be a maze manager, I turned it down immediately because there was no way that I was going in a building. So we compromised, and I was the scare zone manager for cemetery for a year, and just absolutely fell in love with it, and was asked to come back as an area, and from there it grew, and the next thing I knew I was on the core team.
I am Tia Brown. I am the costume and makeup supervisor / ops manager, whatever you want to call it. And I've been here since, I've been with Haunt since 2007.
Tia is a person that she'll approve all the costumes, all the props, that if you have like a problem you like related to your costume, then you go to her and she'll do the best to fix it.
I am a horror enthusiast. Like, this is my life. I live it every day. You know, my house is decorated in Halloween stuff all year round, and and I'm creative and, you know, artistic, so to be able to find a home for those two, it's like, it's what I want to do forever.
So what is Monster Central?
Monster Central is where the real party is, honestly.
What happens on Monster Central is we just pretty much just hang around and just chill out until we have to go out, you know, get our costumes on, get all prettied up, you know, just chill out.
What are you wearing? Oh, you scare me.
Hello, welcome to my park.
Hello, darling.
Are you still recording? Why are you still recording? Turn the camera off!
I'm sorry, your lordship.
That's where everybody hangs out before we go to work. That's where most of the fun begins. We can get away with things a little bit more than we can out in the park, but you never know what will happen in Monster Central.
Oh! Snap!
There was a couple years ago when there was a guy that was scared of clowns, so I got all the clowns to chase him around for like 30 minutes.
Where are you going,
Needless to say, he's over his fear now, so I guess it worked.
That's so mean.
Costuming, we walk down to the little costuming area next to the roller coaster and get a little highs and buys from the people who are riding the roller coaster, which is kind of funny. You just kind of just zone it out for a bit, and you just say in the back of your mind, it's like, I'm going to get you later.
Sliders. Okay. Stephanie. Costuming, we go and we have a certain number, and you'll get your costume number. You'll get your costume and they'll give it to you, and some certain things you'll get like a prop. Pretty much it's just all around like what character you are is kind of like they'll help you make exactly look like what you want to be or what they have in mind.
That's pretty much where the magic begins.
We have 18 makeup artists. Makeup artists just do their thing. They get about 3 minutes a piece, hopefully.
Stand in line for a really long time, and then you go up to a chair with the makeup artist and you give them your card and they do your makeup.
me, I have a prosthetic, so I have to go and pick up my prosthetic, go get my makeup done, sit in a chair, they glue my makeup on.
The makeup is a really important fact of being a monster, just because kind of like give to the character that special touch. And pretty much like the makeup create an illusion of undead people or where you want to be.
And we get 600 monsters done in 3 hours.
I'm watching. I'm ready to just get blooded. Yeah! The makeup artists do such a great job in making you look like you've been completely massacred. But the blood room is just the finishing touch.
Get some. 30 pumps, 30 pumps.
Are doused with a special fluid.
It gets sticky.
Look like anything from a serial killer. Someone fell off a bicycle.
It was glorious to be covered blood head to toe, but you know, you don't get to do that every year, or you end up in an ambulance or somewhere, and I'm not happy.
And I love every second of it in there.
Wow. About 5 minutes, we'll be starting our Freak to the Beat, so don't go too far away.
The dance-off is that boogie, the boogie.
Wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble baby, wobble, yes, wobble baby.
It's the boogie down between like the monsters, between the different mazes, the different areas, scare zones. Everybody, even the supervisors, you know, and the management team participate as their own little group.
What's it like working in a maze?
I think it's fun because people don't always know what's expected in the different rooms, so you can hide in different places and jump out and scare them.
I really like working in a maze. Some people say that they like working outside better because they have more freedom to move around, but I think in a maze I have, at least for me, I have more opportunities to scare people and to get closer to them, closer up in their face kind of scares.
In the maze, it's terribly difficult. You could go through anything from rude guests that corner you to free flow, which is when it's non-stop guests coming through the maze at all times. There's no water to drink, no time to drink water. There's no time to sit down. You gotta keep going and keep scaring. And then other times, a lot of fun, like when you scare a group of people and they fall against the wall or slip and fall and don't get hurt, but it's still funny.
What's it like working in a scare zone?
It's much better than being stuck in a maze, I'm telling you. You get to go move around and interact with people more than just pop scare and resetting yourself. It's glorious, and as hot as I get all the time, the air is nice too. So it's a whole lot more fun than being stuck in a room, believe me.
Oh yeah. Good, nice tea.
Working in a scare zone is so much fun. I mean, it gives you a lot of freedom, but at the same time, it's really difficult. You got to learn how to compromise between, you know, having to turn around and knowing like your surroundings, being able to scare, but also being in character 100% of the time.
Working out in a scare zone is the best way I could describe. I wish I would describe it is like working at a kiosk at a mall. There are customers coming in from all directions. You always have to make sure that you grab their attention, you grab their eye, so that they can, so they can be scared, they can be entertained. That's what they come here for.
What is it like working on Scare Force?
Oh, I love it.
We have no zone, so we kind of walk around and walk the whole park and do a 360 stage.
Yeah, being out in the park, surrounded by people 24/7 can get a little nerve-wracked. Oh, that gets crazy, but I absolutely love it. It's the best job that I had.
Being a slider, it's a really hard core, really physically draining job where you're constantly moving, you're falling on your knees, you're literally throwing yourself on the ground.
Alright, so tell us some of your best scare stories.
My whole life, so I fit in really well, and I was in Final Summons, and there was a bunk bed room that I was in, and I got really tired, so I decided to lay down. Nobody was coming through. It was a Sunday, and all of a sudden this group of 13 people came through, and I didn't hear them until they walked right by me, and I was like, oh god, I got a scare. So I popped up really quick, and this one girl, she just freaked out. She slammed herself against the wall like Patrick Star and just peed on the ground. I hadn't even said anything. I just popped up, ready to scare, and she just goes to the bathroom on my floor, and I had to turn away because I started to laugh, and then I was like, wait, you gotta keep scaring, maybe she'll do more. But no, she just sat on the floor and just started crying, and we had to evacuate the maze and clean up, and then she came back through afterwards. She saw me and she's like, I'm really sorry for peeing on your floor. And I started busting out laughing again. I was like, I can't talk to you. I have to go.
This really tall guy was going through our maze, and usually my bug trick doesn't really work on guys, so I wasn't really expecting much out of it. And I either pulled it out of my mouth or dangled it or something, and he went running, and it was great.
I remember this one night I was standing at the entrance and I was just waiting for people, and I just so happened to pop out at the right time and didn't even have to say anything. And this girl, she literally was holding her pants up, and she just came overwhelmed with fear, and her pants completely fell down and she fell backwards. It was like the perfect scare. I couldn't ask for anything more. It was so funny.
Probably my most fun scare story that I can think of, well, fun for me anyways, was that I stepped out and jumped out a guest, and the guest that I was trying to scare kind of stepped back, but the people behind her took off running, and one of them ran into a pole. And it was really hard not to break character and laugh. She was okay. I'll say that she was alright, but still to this day I can hear that metal thong.
That's probably why it's the most prominent. It's when I was a slider of Feeding Frenzy, and I was out on the hill, and I've never seen that many girls pile up at one time, but they were all lined up from the shop almost all the way to the end of the road to where the trash can is. But they were all holding hands, which is probably the worst thing you can possibly do at Scarowinds, because you scream target. But I slid from one end to the other of them, and as I went, they all just buckled at the knees, so it was like a domino effect all the way down across.
I was sitting on the stairs and I had the bottle in my hand that you press, and the trash can makes a really loud sound. I was kind of hanging over the railing acting fake, and people were like, oh, she's fake, it's okay, you know, she's not going to scare us. I pressed the button and the trash can made that loud sound, and they all screamed. I kind of slid under the railing and jumped out in front of them, and they screamed and ran into the wall. I went under the tunnel that's in defects and jumped out again, and they went running to the third room, and I could hear them screaming throughout the entire maze, which was really funny because They could not stop screaming the entire time.
Earlier this year, I scared a group of people just by looking at them. I was on my way to the bathroom. This group of people was walking out of the restroom, and I just simply froze in my tracks and stared at them. And they conga lined their way back into the bathroom.
The other day, I walk up to this man, and he's like standing this way, and I come up behind him, and as soon as he turns around, I go, "You ever witnessed a murder?" And he, like, I'm talking grown man here, dashes. I mean, he's gone. I didn't even get to finish what I was saying, and he was gone, just like that.
Well, last Sunday, I had the best one coming around the corner here. The lady was pushing a baby carriage. I was going after her husband to scare her. Pretty bad. She jumped, let the stroller go. It kept going out the exit, and she huddled over in the corner, and her husband down laughing at her while the baby kept rolling off. That was hilarious. I've never seen that happen before.
On one occasion, we had this group of teenage girls who had just gotten they had just gotten done eating at the Chick-fil-A, and they still had their drinks, and they're walking from Chick-fil-A going towards the Scrambler. And as they're coming down the aisle, they see me, and they immediately go to the other side, which is closer to the bush. She pops out, and one of the girls just, as she's freaking out, she's like jumping and bouncing up and down. And as she's doing that, she's just pouring water all over the bush.
Joke's on her, that felt great.
So what's it like dealing with customers out in the park?
Well, you know how they are. You get some of these smart aleck kids that come through, but most of them are pretty decent. You can scare them, they have fun with it. And of course, you know, you have your idiots that come through. But you got to deal with it. I've been here 7 years, so I've dealt with it all, I think.
Well, like, being the bush monster, everybody assumes that we're boys. There's two of us, and they just assume that we're short boys. So we get the most violent guests half the time, because they see me as not a 5'2" girl, but a 5'2" boy. So they're like, oh, this is a pretty short one. I can take that one on. So it gets pretty rough. But I absolutely love being the bush. It's the best job I had.
That are, you know, mean and violent, and I get hit in the face, which happens almost every year. Or I'm dealing with the customers that love to be scared, that make my night a lot better than I thought it would be.
Oh my God, you're scared.
This one time I had well, not one time, I have multiple people come in, and when I'm in my corner, they'd be like, there's somebody there, and it just ruins it for me to give the experience to the other people who are like trying to like get scared or try to get over their fear of being scared, and it just kind of ruins it for me. But you know, there are the good ones where they run into the walls, and they're trying to get into the back of the line, and I guess the way to describe it is just, you just have to be prepared for everything.
Hey.
Let's go, bro. Who said that? What you say?
Yeah. What'd you say? You don't need, I mean, you know, 4 guys and 1 girl, you just talk like that? I mean, come on.
But she ugly though.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm sorry that that's your idea of having fun, but you know, whatever. It gets worth it because, you know, most of the people that act like that scare real easy, so you get yours. It's kind of like you get your revenge.
How has Scarowinds impacted you?
Scarowinds has impacted me because it has, when I started, I would say like most people here have, they were wallflowers. They were not really socially people. You coming here, putting on makeup, putting on a mask, having you like a mental barrier between you and people, it allows you to open up. It allows you to expand yourself socially. And not only the fact that, which is customers, you have other people who are like you here coming here who are working as monsters. You go bond here with people. The employees here bond a lot quicker.
Now when we see people, we want to tell them hug. Hug! 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 Hug!
Everyone's hugging.
Yes!
It's impacted me because I have pretty much discovered who my friends are. Last year when I first started, I didn't really have a lot of friends, and at this point I've made so many friends here, and I literally feel like this is a group where I actually belong. Like, the people want me to be myself. I can be who I am around them, even if it's a little strange and out of the norm. I can be myself.
I've always been a freak. I was bullied at school, and then after a bully I became to be like the dark side. And I've always been the weird person in everywhere, in my family, my friends. I'm always a freak, and I never fit in anywhere. As soon as I knew about Scarowinds, I came here, and people were really friendly. I'm not the only freak, and it's amazing. And it's just the whole thing inspires me to be better.
I used to be bullied my entire life and dealing with Asperger's and all this fun stuff, and I got a job at Scarowinds, and it's just made me realize who I am, and just made me break out of my shy shell and just really be crazy.
I have gone from somebody who used to tremble in the queue lines to somebody who enjoys going through the mazes to see what's going to happen next. As a manager, I've grown leaps and bounds just because Scarowinds is so different from daytime operation, and it's, you're dealing with totally different things. So Scarowinds is what keeps me coming back year after year.
But when I come here, I feel like I actually have a life and I mean something to people. And it's a really good feeling to come and actually see people who you barely know that are more excited to see you than your own family.
I will probably be doing this for a long time.
This past season, we lost a monster that was near and dear to all our hearts. His name's Brian, more commonly known as Forkface, and he's touched so many monster lives.
I will update my status on Facebook sometimes when I'm feeling down, because I have anxiety problems, and I remember he messaged me one day and was like, keep your head up, it's gonna get better, and he was always so positive and inspiring.
Brian, yeah, I love Forkface. That guy was always upbeat, always had something positive to say, even when he was going through hell.
2010, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I didn't really have anybody to talk to about it, so I would keep it to myself. And I did say something on Facebook about what I was having to go through, and not everyone really jumped in to give me words of encouragement except for Brian. And we knew each other, but we didn't really, talk a lot. But he was there for me when I had to go through my biopsy and all the treatment that I had to deal with. I had lost about 4 other people in my life since then to cancer. So I've developed this thing called survivor's guilt, and he helped me, to realize that it wasn't my fault that they had gone and I had stayed, even though that's how I felt.
Well, Brian is just always, some of the younger people, when people come in through the beginning of the year, it's kind of like a learning process. A lot of the people will sit around and complain about this, complain about that. He would just say, dude, I have leukemia and I'm here working, so what's your problem? I mean, it was always like that. I mean, he came in one time, he had just had treatment, and he told his doctor that he just needed some time off a little bit, and he came here and worked. That's how much he loved this job. So honestly, we were gonna miss him. He's such an inspiration to all of us about doing our job, doing it well. And those that didn't get to meet him, really sorry about that because he was just a great person.
And then when I found out that he had passed away, it was just like time had stopped.
He'll truly be missed.
We have this picture of him hanging up in the silence break room. And whenever we go out, every night we all have to touch him and pray for the best that he's going to be with us every night. And, oh my God. Brian, I miss you. Woo!
Woo!
And he just had some words that he wanted to. What? Yeah, I'm doing okay. He had some words that he just wanted to share with everybody who has been such a support for him.
4Q doesn't count.
However you can. To the monsters of Scarowinds in the asylum, I thank you for the scares and so much fun. It's not been the best year for me, and yet I have the best friends a guy can get. The staff and monsters helped me in many ways to get through all of my toughest days, which made me get through each night to give out the best screams of fright. In the years to come, I could never ask for better friends to have a blast. Tonight, my thanks are not for the hours I live, but for the special kindness that you give. So to all the fantastic monsters of Scarowinds, you'll always be my best of friends.
I haven't had a chance to meet. I'm Jerry Helms. I am the Vice President of Operations, and I just came up here to thank you for what you've done. Last week, our COO and our CEO were here, which I guess everybody knows that now. No. Wanted to tell you that you just blew them away. That they were absolutely beaming. During the walk, our CEO looked at Bart Kinzel, our GM, and said, "Bart, this is a wonderful event." He said, "You know, I'm going to have to hold the other parks accountable to get to this level." We started then.
I want to be as creepy as possible.
Alright, Monica's already said thank you, but thank you very much also from myself and Zach and the rest of the team. You guys are incredible. For those that don't know, because we haven't really mentioned it, that you did break the all-time record for Scarowinds again. Awesome job. 240-some thousand people have been scared into nightmares and terror for the rest of their lives. So thank you.
We love you. We are
This is the best job in the world. You would not want to. Anything else is just. Nothing compares to it.
A getaway for me personally. Back when I came as a guest, I came a lot because it was just kind of like a place where I could go that I could enjoy, that I knew I wanted to be a part of. And now that I am a part of it, I kind of feel like I belong somewhere, which is kind of weird that I belong with the monsters. But sometimes it's what it takes.
For people who want to apply for Scarowinds, I highly recommend it. Don't be shy. Just express yourself. Be yourself. Come up with ideas, come up with characters. Here that people are extremely friendly, extremely open-minded. It's no taboos in this place. It's pretty much freedom to the soul and freedom to the heart. And pretty much thank you for this opportunity. This is my first year and I'm enjoying it to the most.
Being something you're not for just a little while. I mean, I'm definitely not a schizophrenic sociopath. Kind of. But I come here and it's to relieve stress. It's to be happy. It's to make friends. It's to watch people pee themselves.
You can't beat the talent that's here. You can't beat the people. And I think that's the biggest part of Scarowinds is people. And we get to share all of our craziness and insaneness with the general public and do it legally.
Be me. I can just be me and do what I do. And I love that. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Make sure you all have a very safe ride home. And very safe winter, and please be back again next year.
This is what I'm supposed to do, and this is what I was meant to do, is to be scary and evil.
Tips to future monsters.
Number 1, go out there and have fun. And if you feel like you're doing something stupid or you feel stupid, you're doing it right. Because you shouldn't feel normal. And you think people are making fun of you, then you're obviously being creepy enough, because we are creepy, and that's the number 1 goal here, is to be creepy and be the scariest that we can possibly be.
Keep a cool head, because they will try to get under your skin. The customers are like that. They will try to get under your skin. Also, famous line, and this is probably my last tip: if it's wet, don't touch it.
Come in to really want this. Don't come in half-heartedly saying, oh, it's just a job. If you want this, you need to show that you really want it, because that will go a lot farther than I'm here to do a job. You have to really put your heart and soul into it.
Try not to break character as much as you can, even if you're dealing with someone who's in pain.
Bring lots of cough drops.
Don't lose all your energy in the beginning of the night. That can be a pain. It's easy for me to keep up with my energy throughout the night, but I know a lot of people, and even myself some nights, that crash about halfway through the night. So kind of save your energy throughout the night.
Don't overwork yourself. Don't get down if you don't make scares or anything like that. You'll find your comfort zone and find the inner monster in yourself. And always hydrate. I cannot not enough. Drink plenty of water.
So to all you future monsters out there, if you want to work at Scarowinds, then show them that you care. Don't just walk in there and be like, I can't do this. Like, you actually have to throw away the nerves and show them what you got.
LeRoy.
Scarowinds, the movie is now over. Congratulations to you lucky souls that got to watch it. Subscribe to LeRoy Pro Studios if you dare.